Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at a mod called the Gavril Mione. Sure, that's not the traditional way of pronouncing it, but I think it's the most cool way of saying it. You could say Mione, Mione, but I like Mione. So with this vehicle, we have a pretty good amount of options here, and they're all nicely grouped together. So we have the STS, which is basically the base version of the vehicle, and we have 3 body styles, and we can get it in automatic or manual. Now, out of the 3 body styles, my very favorite is the van. For some reason, vans like this are really cool to me. Except there's one thing that makes absolutely no sense about this vehicle. So it's the van, right? And it's a van with panels in the rear, so you're gonna think, yeah, this thing's gonna have a big old trunk with lots of room. But then you go inside, it's like, wait a minute, who put rear seats here? Why would you want rear seats on your panel van, man? That makes no sense. So if you ever get this version of the vehicle, you know what the first thing you do is? You go and take those rear passenger seats and rip them out, and now you got a real serious panel van. Look at all this space for stuff like tools and real important stuff you need to take your van with. That's nice. And while we're here, we can also look at the interior of the vehicle, and it does have all of the functionality you would expect to see. So it has working pedals down below, working steering wheel, working gauges that do light up when you turn the lights on. There's an extra light for when you have the high beams on. There's a light for the parking brake. All the stuff you would want to see, it is there and working swell. The theme of this vehicle is it's a basic 80s economy car. That means the base version has a 2.2 liter engine that makes a pitiful 97 horsepower. It doesn't even make 100 horsepower with a 2.2 liter engine, man. 80s cars were not fast. Now, one big complaint I have is when you have the van, it's only available in the slowest engine, so you cannot have a fast van. That's as fast as you're gonna get to crash the van version, which wasn't that hard at all because it barely looks damaged. Yeah, it still drives fine. It doesn't help that there was a little bit of incline slowing me down. This vehicle is slow enough, when you see a small hill, you start to sweat a bit. And I'm trying to crash it into the walls, but we just go so slow it doesn't do anything. Like, I'm like, hit this wall, hit this wall, and it's not getting any more damaged. I need speed. Come on, hill, give me some speed. There we go. That was like 50 miles per hour. I think it could still drive, but the wheels are hanging up in the air, so we can't get the traction we would need to actually keep going. That's okay, because now we can go to the next version of the vehicle, which is the RTS version. With the RTS version, you can get it in automatic or manual, and you can get it in hatch or coupe. And if you get the RTS, you got scammed. The only difference is the wheels. That's it. So here's a look at what the coupe looks like. And the roofline is different enough where I almost wouldn't notice the two vehicles are based on the same platform. They look very different when you change the body style. On this one, you do get the fake soft top. On later ones, they have a regular roof option as well. Now, don't be fooled. It feels like it's going faster because we have the downhill helping us. It's the same speed. It's the same 97 horsepower engine we had before. Maybe a little bit lighter weight because of the body style change, but it's not significantly faster. So there's a crash. Engine broken. So you are done just like that, huh? Obviously, I can't drive after the engine's broken, but there's a look at the damage. And then we'll bring it back up here and drive it a little bit more. And I will make sure I go a different direction. I don't want to go the exact same route and crash in the exact same spot. So we'll take a right here, a tight right. This is not the best at cornering. This is a basic American economy car. Now tell me, have you ever heard anybody ever describe an old American economy car as handling good? I've heard that about all kinds of other ones from like Japan and Germany and stuff, but never the American ones. So there's a nice little crash. And can it still drive decently? A little bit. We can put some power down, but the steering is awful. We can go just fast enough to get another bash into the wall probably, except it's steering so hard to the right, I can't do anything. I'm trying to get it going left. It's so messed up, it's just not going to listen to what I say. Oh, come on, car. Go. 50 miles per hour apparently, and smash. I probably killed it, right? Oh, no way. It's still driving. That was supposed to be the finishing blow. This thing is driving so poorly, I don't want to drive it anymore. It is ruined. So here's a look at all the damage we accumulated from all of those crashes. And now it's time to move on to the first one that has a little bit of guts to it. So we're going to be taking a look at the GTS version now. And with the GTS version, it only comes in manual, but you still get the option between a hatchback and a coupe. And we'll take a look at the hatchback version because you haven't seen that one yet, although it's almost identical to the panel van. The only difference is the windows are now clear. So really, there's not much to look at. But we at least have a power upgrade here that allows us to get some airtime, flying up the mountain and then crashing back down. Oh, come on, land on your wheels. We can get this guy back onto his wheels pretty easy. First, we yank him over the fence. And will he roll? No, he won't. So we'll flip him one more time. And onto your wheels, soldier. Keep on driving. So with this version, we have the same 2.2 liter engine, but it has a supercharger on it now. So it makes a whopping 130-ish horsepower. It's still slow, but it's not miserably slow. It also has all-wheel drive, which makes it a little bit more fun to drive as well, but it's not fun to drive right now because it is driving very, very poorly because it's so damaged. So here's a look at the damage before we get a fresh one. And there really is a big difference in how sloped that roof is when you get the new one. It goes from really slick and aerodynamic to chunky, just like that. Although it really doesn't matter because if you crush a car down to make it more aerodynamic, it won't actually act more aerodynamic. It'll just look more aerodynamic because that's not actually simulated. All right, let's take a shortcut. We're going to go from the upper road down to the lower road, which is somewhere in this direction. Oh, no, I overshot it. Come on, make your way there. Don't crash into the trees. Oh, no, that's not the trees. So success. We just crashed into the barrier instead. How do you drive after something like that? Fine, actually. It's not driving too badly, but trees! Hello, trees. How are y'all doing right now? Wow. We are really wrapped around this tree. But you know what? It still wants to go. So we're going to keep going. We're going to just save this, bring it back to wherever we were before, and then come on! Oh, no! Ha! I did not realize that I would be that far up in the air. That's like 2 feet in the air on this side of the vehicle. And look, this will happen if we try to... Yeah, now this side's up in the air. Ah! It's never going to fix itself. Well, maybe it can. Let's try something... I would say a little bit stupid, but this is just straight up very stupid. We're going to get the cube here, and then we are going to make it as heavy as it can be, and we're going to smush it down on the spot that's all popped up into the air and try to flatten the vehicle. This will probably just break everything, but it's worth a shot. Ugh! Oh, that actually worked. That actually worked, maybe. Nope, it made everything worse. It's closer to the ground, but I've also ruined everything else about the vehicle at the same time. All right, so reset. And then here's something cool you can do with any of the all-wheel drive versions of the vehicle. If you hold down reverse, the car goes at 140 miles per hour for some reason, it says. I don't know why it does that. Just a really strange glitch I've never seen before. And if we have a more powerful version of the vehicle, it could just make the tires explode, which I will be showing you later on. But first, crash time! Oh no! I've done it again where I made the bottom like stick way down. So yes, we could put down power, but I don't think any of the wheels will really touch the road enough to put it down properly. Come on. Yep. Just like last time, except now it's kind of strafing as well. Oh, but look how fast we're going. What? Ha! My rear tires have officially exploded. That was not what I expected. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the next model. So this is the GTS Coupe GT. There's also the GTS Hatchback GT. So the difference on this is the way the front end of the vehicle is designed. So to give you a proper comparison, we'll get the regular coupe and the GT side by side. And then, well, take this guy out of the grass. There we are. So now we can easily see the difference between them. So the one on the left, the GT version, it looks a lot more aerodynamic and smoother. It allows the vehicle to cut through the air and be faster. Where the other one, it's a little more blocky and stumpy and it doesn't look as sporty. But this side with the nice smooth angles, it looks a lot faster even though it's identical to the other one in terms of performance. It only looks faster. It's not actually any faster, although when you get to the top end models, they are only available in this style. But this one, same performance. And it's doing a great job of just kind of chipping away at the damage here. Just bumping things and keep on driving. Land on your wheels. Go, go, go. Don't you stop at me. Ooh, we are locked in now. here we go. Check this out. No steering required. Oh, that was working great. Lock back in. Let's go. I like doing that. No. Who put this wall there? You completely ruined my amazing driving strategies. Rude. It doesn't even make sense. Why would you have a wall there? Okay, I guess I could see reasons why walls would be there, but still, how could you? Anyways, for the next version of the vehicle, let's go ahead and swap up the maps. So we'll head over to Industrial Site to check them out. And now we're going to take a look at the final production version of the vehicle. That is the 3.3 GTS Hatchback GT. So this is very similar to the one we were just driving, but it has a bigger engine, so it has about 170 horsepower. And then it also has a cool little paint job on it. It even has the name Mione on the side of it. And I think really this front end matches up better with the hatchback than it does the coupe, especially with the pop-up lights. Pop-up lights just always look better on hatchbacks and coupes, and I don't know why. Although, really, they look good on anything. I love pop-up lights. So anyways, off we go with our 170 horsepower. The fastest one yet. And again, this thing drives much faster than I would expect for only 170 horsepower. I guess it just comes down to the fact that the vehicles are pretty lightweight compared to more modern vehicles. They only weigh like 2,500 pounds. And most modern vehicles weigh like another 1,000 pounds on top of that for a similar vehicle. So that's what makes it feel so fast for how little horsepower it has. And it is still driving decently well after that big collision. So we'll keep on going. I see some rocks dead ahead. We're going to climb those and fly into the air. This should be good. Okay. Did I say fly into the air? I mean smash into the rocks and destroy the vehicle. I must have stuttered a little bit. Excuse me. So here's a look at the damage, which completely ruined the car kind of unexpectedly. That's unfortunate. I still want to drive this one a little bit more, so I'm going to just go ahead and freshen him up. And we're going to make our way over to the racetrack so we can take a look at the racing versions of this vehicle. There are technically 4 versions that are used for motorsports, but 2 of them are kind of cheating. And then the other one isn't used for track racing, so really only one of them needs to be at the track. And then the other 2 can be driven wherever. And then the rally one can be driven on rally dirt courses. I just got to find some. So here we go. Come on, corner good. Oh, that was actually surprisingly clean. I can't believe how well that thing managed the corners. And the suspension in this isn't anything special. It's the same slightly upgraded version we had in the GTS. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Street Tuned edition, which it's called Street Tuned, but it feels like it's more made from the track because it has a track looking paint job and it has a roll cage in it, both of which aren't usually things you would see on a car for the streets. So with this one, we have about 200 horsepower and a suspension setup made for going fast, and it handles these corners really, really well. And we can go ahead and do a booty smash into the wall. It hit a little bit on the side as well. And oh no! Do you see how crooked that rear wheel is? We literally just drive sideways. That's how crooked it is. I'm trying to go to the right and it's still going to the left. That's how sideways it drives after that impact. That ruined it. And now that you've seen how fast it is, here's just a closer look at the outside because it has some custom parts. So it has extra wide fenders on it, the cool paint job, an extra pair of lights in the front, which do not turn on, it looks like. And then on the back, we have the mud flaps, which don't exactly make sense, but they look cool, so I don't care. Let's go ahead and do one more crash with this guy before we move on to the next version. And we got to find the right place to crash. And I'm thinking, let's just crash into the barrier that's dead ahead. A nice, simple crash, like so. Excellent, except it flipped upside down, but then it fixed itself. And that is the end of the track version. Next up, we're going to take a look at a kind of strange version. This is the Indy 500 Safety Wagon, which is basically just a GTS with a paint job on it, and then it's not all-wheel drive, and it's front-wheel drive for some reason. Why they would make it front-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive, I do not know, but that's what this is. And it just says, you know, Indianapolis 500 pace car on it. Selecta, grip ball, all that kind of like logo stuff. Has a roll cage on it, and then even a light bar with siren. The weird thing is I can't ever recall actually hearing a pace car and what the siren sounds like. I've seen it with lights on before, but I've just never seen them with actual siren noise going on. Now, it just feels weird. But this vehicle is also available in coupe form as well, if that's more of your style. I personally, for the most part, always prefer the hatchback because they are a lot more convenient to load things into. Man, those tires are so weird how they slow you down ever so gently, it looks like. All right, well, there's the damage. And now the final version we're going to be taking a look at is the rally version, which has the most powerful engine yet. This one has about 300 horsepower, and of course it has all-wheel drive. It has similar modifications to you saw on the Street Tune version. So it has the wider fenders, the roll cage in it, and a cool looking paint job. And it's pretty decently fast if the transmission will let you get moving. I noticed the automatic mode transmission just shifts all the time and it never actually wants to accelerate. Have you noticed this thing just looking at it bouncing and bouncing and bouncing from gear to gear, not just holding a gear so we can accelerate? So I want to do that same route, but this time it's in manual mode where I shift the gears because I'm smarter than the game. I know when to shift. I don't shift just because I hit the rev limiter. I shift after I've bounced off of it 10 times like a real man do. That's more like it. So rally car, go straight through the dirt. It'll be fine. Straight through the dirt. Oh, but this is a bad angle for the next corner. I've made a slight miscalculation here. Again, though, thanks to the fact that I actually shift the gears properly, we are moving so much faster that we'll accidentally slam into walls and fly a little bit. Oof. That was ugly. Okay, let's just crash this guy. And then I'm going to take a look at the secret version. This is the one I didn't pull out earlier because it's special. What makes it special? I'll show you once we're done looking at this damage, and we are done. So the final version we're going to be taking a look at is the Service Assist, which is another van version. It's literally just the 2.2 STS van, but it has a different paint job on it. That's the only difference. It's a very basic paint job. It's like a car from the actual 80s, and they just threw some logos on it and say, hey, we help you and stuff. Look at our van. Isn't it cool? And boy, is it cool. And this one actually has the rear seats removed. I don't know why the other ones don't. Maybe it's like the chicken tax or something weird where it's like, hey, well, if we put the seats in there, we could sell it cheaper, and then you just remove them yourself and then throw them in the trash because the tax rules are stupid and convoluted and weird. But that has killed the vehicle, unfortunately. Wait a minute. Did I just see a hubcap fly off? I don't know where it went, but it went somewhere. So now, let's go ahead and do something dumb. So I mentioned earlier, if you go in reverse with a fast version of the vehicle, the wheels will just explode. So here's a quick demonstration. The speedometer reads 230 miles per hour, and then boom, there goes the tire, just shooting off in the distance. The other one is also exploded as well. I, again, don't know what's actually causing that for sure. Like, maybe the gearing between the front and rear is different and reverse. That's my only guess, but you can see how violent it is. It actually shoots the car up into the air a few inches as the wheels fly off. It is just a crazy, strange, chaotic thing that I can't exactly say I've seen before. It's just weird. I gotta show it to you guys because of that. And you can drive with the tires blown up a little bit. It's kind of like the skid plate Covette, which some of you might remember. I haven't used that guy in a long time, but you just kind of slide all over the place, and if you can keep it under control, you can go decently fast. And with this one, we have just enough traction from the rear to go decently fast, all the way up to 80 miles per hour. And then, oh, going through the trees, hit the butt, yeah, just bounce off of it. Look at the way it conserved momentum. That was a real bounce maneuver there. That was interesting. But I have very little control. I'm going to be honest here, very, very little control. Like, we're spinning out, and all I can do is just try to straighten it out afterwards to keep on going. Actually, that worked out surprisingly well. I thought that was going to go a heck of a lot worse. Anyways, we are pretty much done with this, guys, so let's just go ahead and take a look at all of the damage it has accumulated from the crash. And then, to finish things off, we are going to go to Leap of Death, and we will wreck it. And for Leap of Death, the obvious choice is the fastest one, the Rally Edition, which should also be the best since this is a dirt road. And get some traction and go. Looks like we're going to get up to close to 70 miles per hour, and then there's the jump. Nice little flight going on, perfectly straight, and then it does the dip. How will it crash? That's the true question. Here comes the first impact. I'm going to use 100 times slow-mo here so we can really watch the rear end go crunch. Oh, there we go. It just says Gav. It's funny, they misspelled gravel. It's not spelled Gavril, it's gravel. What goofs. Although actually, I don't have my mod installed that fixes the spelling errors right now. So everything does say Gavril. I need to install the mod back so everything says gravel again, because that's one of my favorite mods that I've ever made. It's an essential mod, because otherwise they have weird names that I don't like. Now when they say gravel, that's a good name. So that thing pretty much got completely ruined in terms of drivability. So we'll let it fall all the way to the bottom. And I think that's going to do it for this video. Until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. And remember, if you like or dislike this video, I will know. I can tell by how the tires explode in reverse for no good reason. So do the right thing, and I'll see you next time.